Hey everybody, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we are going to be looking at food and fitness and how they impact our lives.
Really interesting stuff in the research here that we found.
Yeah, it goes way beyond, just like the eat your veggies and exercise is good for you type
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, way beyond that.
So I'm super excited to dive into this. What do you think?
I think we should just jump right in.
All right, let's do it. One of the things that really stood out to me in the research was this idea of the gut-brain connection.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all felt that, like, I eat too much and now I feel sluggish.
Right.
But these sources are saying it goes way deeper than that.
Oh, it's much more intricate, much more nuanced than that.
So what is it? What is this gut-brain connection all about?
Okay, so imagine, your gut, right? Like a bustling city of
Okay.
bacteria, and it's constantly sending messages to the brain through this really complex network of nerves and chemicals.
Wow.
And those messages influence everything. I mean, we're talking your mood, your energy levels, your ability to focus,
Really?
even your sleep patterns.
So my gut bacteria are like talking to my brain.
They are. Yeah, they're sending messages back and forth.
That's crazy. So how does food fit into all of this?
Okay, well, think of it this way. The food that you eat is fuel
Okay.
for that bustling city of bacteria.
Right?
If you feed them junk food, you are essentially creating chaos. Like throwing a wrench in the system.
Yeah.
So we're going to send all these wonky signals to your brain, and that can lead to all sorts of things like mood swings, brain fog, even anxiety.
So if I am like, I'm reaching for the sugary snacks and the processed foods, I'm basically setting myself up for like an emotional roller coaster.
Pretty much.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, those types of foods cause those spikes and crashes in blood sugar,
Right.
which directly impact the signals to your brain.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like disrupting that whole communication system.
Gotcha. So that means then if I'm eating healthy foods, that's giving those gut bacteria the tools to send clear, like positive messages to my brain.
You got it, exactly. When you nourish your gut with whole foods,
Right.
fiber, healthy fats, you're essentially creating like a harmonious environment
Okay.
where those good bacteria can thrive.
Love it.
And when they thrive, they send out signals that promote stable mood, better focus, and even a more resilient response to stress.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
So simply changing what we eat, we can feel calmer, more focused, more equipped to handle all the crazy stuff that life throws at us.
Yeah, and it's not about being perfect
Right.
or depriving yourself. It's just about making choices that support both your physical and mental health.
Yeah, I love that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about food and mood. What about exercise?
Okay.
We all know that exercise is good for us, but the sources are saying it has all these other benefits as well.
It does.
That's beyond just the physical stuff.
Absolutely. We're talking about boosting mood, increasing energy levels, even improving your cognitive function.
Really?
It's like a multivitamin for your brain.
Wow, okay. I'm intrigued.
Tell me more about that.
So when we exercise, it triggers the release of endorphins. Those have mood-boosting and pain-relieving effects.
Endorphins.
Yeah, it's like your brain's natural reward system kicking in.
Okay.
But it goes beyond just feeling good in the moment.
So it's not just a temporary high.
Not at all.
Interesting.
It helps to improve blood flow to the brain,
Right.
which delivers those essential nutrients and oxygen. And this can lead to better cognitive function, better memory,
Wow.
even enhanced creativity.
So working out is a workout for my brain as well as my body.
Exactly.
About that.
And here's the cool part.
Hmm.
Even short bursts of exercise can have these lasting positive effects.
Really? So I don't have to spend, hours at the gym to get all these benefits.
Nope, not at all.
That's good to know.
Even a 20-minute brisk walk can make a huge difference.
Okay.
It's about consistency and finding ways to incorporate movement into your daily routine.
So maybe you take the stairs instead of the elevator, you walk during your lunch break, maybe even do some stretches while you're watching TV.
Yeah, just move more.
It doesn't
Look here, a little bit there adds up.
Yeah, it's about shifting the mindset from I don't have time to I'm making time
Yes,
for my well-being.
love it.
And the rewards are significant. You'll feel better physically, but you'll also notice improvements in your mood, your energy levels, your mental clarity.
Makes sense. I mean, when I don't move, I feel it.
Yeah.
So, okay, we've talked about food and mood, exercise and energy. What about weight loss? That's a big piece of this too, right?
It is, and that's where it gets really fascinating.
Oh, like,
The research talks about weight loss not just as a physical transformation, but as a catalyst for positive change
oh,
that can ripple outward into all areas of your life.
ooh, I like that. I'm hooked. Tell me more.
Well, think about it. When you lose weight and start feeling healthier,
Yeah.
it often leads to increased confidence and self-esteem.
That makes sense. Yeah, when I feel better in my own skin, I just
Yeah.
naturally project more confidence.
Exactly. And that confidence can then translate into other areas of your life.
Okay.
You might take more risks, try new things, or put yourself out there in ways you wouldn't have before.
It's like this chain reaction of positivity.
Right.
Like one good change leads to another and another.
And it doesn't stop there.
Okay.
Weight loss can also lead to increased energy levels,
Right.
so you're less fatigued,
Yeah.
you're more engaged,
Yeah.
better able to tackle challenges throughout the day. I
Yeah.
mean, that can have a huge impact on your relationships, your work, even your hobbies.
Yeah, for sure. So it's not just about fitting into a smaller size.
No.
It's about feeling good in your own skin, having more energy to pursue your passions,
Yeah.
showing up more fully in all areas of your life.
You got it.
That's great. I love that. Okay, so, but does this mean like every pound lost equals more confidence and energy?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it brings up a really important point. The sources emphasize that mindset and consistency are key,
Yeah.
for sustainable weight loss and those positive ripple effects.
Right.
So it's not about chasing that specific number on the scale. It's about making gradual, healthy changes that you can maintain over time.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not about quick fixes or crash diets.
Yep.
It's about creating a lifestyle
It is.
that supports your overall well-being.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance that works for you.
Right.
And that might look different for everyone.
For sure, yeah. So if we are thinking about, putting this into action, are there specific steps that listeners can take
There are.
to start making these positive changes?
The sources offer some really practical advice,
Okay, what is it?
to help you get started. And first and foremost, they emphasize starting small.
Yeah, I love that approach
Yeah,
because it feels much less daunting than trying to overhaul your entire life all at once.
absolutely.
Like, what kind of small changes are we talking?
Okay, so it could be something as simple as swapping out those sugary drinks for water or unsweetened tea,
Okay.
adding an extra serving of vegetables to each meal, or maybe it's committing to a short walk each day,
Right.
even if you can't fit in a full workout.
Small changes, big impact. I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what else?
Another key strategy is planning.
Oh,
Treat your meal prep and your workouts with the same importance as you would any other commitment on your schedule.
so like actually block it out in my calendar.
Yes, exactly.
Time for grocery shopping, time for meal prep, and time for working out.
Yes, make it a non-negotiable part of your routine.
Okay.
And don't forget to be kind to yourself throughout the process,
Oh, that's so important.
Yeah, this isn't about perfection.
Right.
It's about progress.
Yeah,
So celebrate those victories no matter how small.
love that.
And remember that setbacks are a normal part of any journey.
Yeah, we're all going to have setbacks.
Yes.
Totally.
So it's about building healthy habits that you can maintain over time.
Instead of those quick fixes
Right.
that ultimately don't last.
Yeah, for sure. And another thing that is helpful is finding a community or support system, right? Like people who are on the same journey as you.
Yes, absolutely.
That can be a huge help.
Huge help.
Whether it's online or in person, having that support makes a big difference.
Absolutely. So to sum up what we've talked about so far,
Yeah.
we've learned about the fascinating connection between your gut and your brain, how food choices can really impact your mood and mental well-being.
Right.
We've explored how even short bursts of exercise can be really beneficial for your body and your brain, boosting those energy levels and sharpening that cognitive function.
Yay.
We've started to unpack the idea that weight loss isn't just a number on a scale.
Right.
It's a catalyst for positive change that can ripple outward into all areas of your life.
Right, like increased confidence and energy, but also it can affect our relationships and even work performance, which we'll get to in a minute.
But I think the biggest takeaway for me so far is this. Sustainable change starts with small steps, consistent effort, a good dose of self-compassion, and a supportive network to cheer you on along the way.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a journey.
It is a journey, and we've got to support each other, Okay, so speaking of work performance,
Yes.
I was so fascinated to read about that in the source material, this connection between weight loss and work performance.
Right.
I never really thought about it before,
Yeah.
but it makes total sense, right?
Right, it does. It's fascinating how we often compartmentalize our lives.
Yes.
Health, work, relationships, but in reality, They're all interconnected.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a delicate ecosystem where one element impacts the others.
Yeah. If you're dragging yourself through the day, feeling sluggish and self-conscious, that's going to affect how productive you are, how engaged you are at work.
And think about those days when you're feeling your best. You know, you're energized, you're confident, you're comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
You probably tackle your work with more enthusiasm and creativity.
Yeah, for sure.
You're more likely to collaborate effectively and even take on new challenges.
You know, and I've noticed for me, like when I'm feeling good about myself, I'm more willing to like speak up in meetings and share my ideas. But when I'm feeling blah,
Right.
I just kind of blend into the background.
And that's a perfect example, you know, of how our physical and mental states can directly impact our professional lives.
Right.
So the sources suggest that weight loss, you know, by improving energy levels, boosting that self-esteem, can actually lead to tangible improvements in your work performance.
That's really interesting. So it's not just about appearances, it's about those mental and emotional shifts that come with feeling healthier and more confident.
It's about shedding not just pounds, but also those self-limiting beliefs that might be holding you back.
That's such a good point.
Professionally, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It reminds me of those listener success stories that were in the research.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember Sarah?
I do, yeah.
She was saying that after she lost 20 pounds, she just felt so much more confident at work.
Right.
And even ended up getting a promotion.
That's awesome.
So it's like, you know, those positive changes just kind of rippled outwards and affected her whole life.
It's a great example of that. You know, it's not just about feeling better physically. It's about unlocking your potential in all areas of your life, including your career.
So this is about so much more than just weight loss.
It is.
It's about creating this positive upward spiral.
Right.
Where one healthy change leads to another.
Exactly.
And the benefits just extend, you know, way beyond what we might initially expect.
It is truly empowering.
Yeah, I agree.
To realize that we have more control over our well-being and our lives than we often think.
Right, but putting this into action can be tough, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, how do we actually make these healthy habits stick in the midst of our super busy lives?
You know, that's the million-dollar question.
It is.
And one recurring theme in the source material was just that. Starting small.
Yeah.
You know, it's about creating sustainable habits.
Right.
Not overwhelming yourself with these drastic changes that you can't stick to.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that.
Yeah.
Because it's so much easier to stick with something when it feels manageable.
Absolutely.
So what kinds of small changes are we talking about?
So, you know, it could be as simple as swapping out sugary drinks for water or unsweetened tea, maybe adding an extra serving of veggies to each meal.
Yeah.
You know, taking a 15-minute walk each day, even if you can't fit in a full workout.
Yeah, I love that.
It's small changes, but they make a big impact.
Totally agree. All right, what else? What other advice?
Well, what about when that motivation wanes?
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Right. How do you stay committed when you feel like life is pulling you in a million different directions?
Right, because it does.
It does.
And we get busy, we get sidetracked.
And the sources offer several strategies for staying motivated.
Okay.
But one that resonated with me was finding an activity that you genuinely enjoy.
Yeah.
So if you hate running,
don't run.
Don't run.
Right.
Explore different options until you find something that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And that you actually look forward to.
Yeah. Exercise shouldn't feel like a chore.
It shouldn't.
It should be something that you're excited to do.
Exactly. And it's also important to set realistic goals.
Yes.
You know, don't try to do too much too soon.
Right.
Start with small, achievable targets.
Okay.
And gradually increase the intensity or duration of your workout as you get stronger and more confident.
Yeah. So build momentum.
Yes.
And celebrate those small victories.
Exactly.
Along the way.
And don't underestimate the power of tracking your progress.
Oh, yeah. Tracking is huge. I've heard that before.
Whether it's keeping a workout log, monitoring your weight loss, or just noticing how much better you feel.
Yeah.
Seeing that tangible evidence of your efforts can really boost your commitment and keep you motivated.
Yeah, I can see that, but I've always been intimidated by all those fitness apps and gadgets and all that stuff.
Right, but you don't need any fancy technology.
Okay.
A simple notebook or even a calendar can work wonders.
Oh, I love that. Low tech.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just jot down your workouts, your meals, or any other healthy habits.
Makes sense.
You know, that you're working on. And that act of writing it down can be so powerful in itself.
So it's about finding what works for you.
It is.
Whether it's high tech or low tech.
Exactly.
Just track it somehow. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but what about those days when even like the thought of putting on my workout clothes
Oh, yeah.
just feels overwhelming? We all have those days.
We do. We all do.
Right. What do we do when that happens?
Those slumps are a normal part of the process. You know, it's important to acknowledge that motivation isn't always going to be sky high.
Right.
You know, there will be days when it's harder to get going.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's when it's crucial to tap into your support system.
Oh, yeah.
Reach out to a friend.
Okay.
You know, connect with your online fitness community. Maybe even talk to a health coach or a therapist.
Right. So share your struggles with somebody who gets it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And sometimes all it takes is a little shift in perspective
Okay.
to reignite that motivation.
All right. How do we shift our perspective?
One powerful technique is to remind yourself of your why.
Okay.
Why did you embark on this journey in the first place?
Right.
What are you hoping to achieve?
Okay.
What benefits are you striving for?
Right.
Connecting with those deeper motivations can really provide that extra push to get back on track.
So it's about remembering why we're doing this in the first place.
Exactly.
And all the amazing benefits that are going to come from it.
Yeah, it's about remembering that this is a lifelong journey.
Right.
Not a quick fix.
Yes, this is not a diet.
No, this is a lifestyle.
That's a lifestyle change.
You know, and there will be ups and downs, challenges and triumphs.
Right.
But by embracing the process, staying committed to your goals, surrounding yourself with support, you can achieve incredible things.
I love that perspective.
Yeah, it takes the pressure off.
Yeah, it does.
And lets you enjoy the journey instead of getting bogged down by setbacks or comparing ourselves to others.
Right, because comparison is the thief of joy, right?
It is.
We can't do that.
No, it's about finding that balance that works for you.
Right.
Celebrating every step you take towards a healthier, happier, more fulfilling life.
I love that. So this whole conversation has been so eye-opening for me.
Good.
I feel like I'm starting to see these connections between food, fitness, and my overall well-being in just like a whole new light.
That's great.
I love it. You know, we've talked a lot about personal benefits, but I'm wondering, what about the bigger picture?
That's a fantastic point.
Like our choices affect others too, right?
Absolutely. It's easy to get caught up in those individual aspects of healthy living.
Right.
But the truth is, our choices have a ripple effect.
Yeah.
You know, that extends far beyond ourselves.
So it's not just about looking good or feeling good.
No.
It's about something bigger.
It is. Yeah, the sources talk about this idea of concentric circles of influence.
Okay, I like that. Tell me more.
Okay, so it starts with you, right?
Okay.
The choices you make for your own well-being.
Yeah.
But then those choices influence your family, your friends, your community, even the world around you.
So how do my personal choices impact those around me?
Well, think about it this way. When you prioritize your health, you have more energy and vitality to show up for the people that you care about.
Right.
You're more patient, you're more present. You're better equipped to handle the challenges that life throws your way.
Yeah, because if I'm feeling stressed and exhausted, I'm probably not the most pleasant person to be around.
Oh.
You know, but when I'm taking care of myself, I have more to give to others.
Exactly. And it goes beyond your immediate circle.
Okay.
Your healthy habits can inspire those around you.
Right.
You know, your kids might see you choosing fruits and vegetables over processed snacks.
Right.
Your colleagues might be motivated to join you for that walk at lunch.
Yeah.
You know, your friends might be encouraged to try a new fitness class with you.
Yeah.
So you're setting a good example.
So it's like this chain reaction of positivity.
It is.
One healthy choice inspires another.
Exactly.
And it just kind of spreads outwards.
And the sources even suggest that when individuals prioritize their well-being, it can contribute to a healthier and more vibrant society.
Wow, I never thought of it that way.
As a whole.
Yeah, that even small choices can have a far-reaching impact.
It is. It's incredibly empowering.
It is.
You know, to know that by taking care of ourselves, we're not only improving our own lives, but also making a positive contribution
to the world around us.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, it's great.
This has been such an inspiring conversation.
Sure.
I feel like I have a whole new perspective.
Good.
On how important it is to take care of myself.
Yeah.
And not just for my benefit, but for the people around me.
Right.
And, you know, for the greater good.
Exactly. It's been a pleasure exploring these concepts with you.
Likewise, yeah.
And as we wrap up, I'd like to leave you with one final thought.
Okay.
What if instead of viewing these healthy habits as a chore or a sacrifice, We embrace them as acts of self-love and empowerment.
I love that. Yeah, it shifts the whole dynamic.
It does.
From something we have to do to something we choose to do.
Exactly.
For ourselves and for the people around us.
Exactly. When we approach healthy living from that place of love and respect for our bodies, it becomes joyful and sustainable.
Yeah, it does.
Not just for ourselves, but for everyone we touch.
Right. It's no longer about deprivation or punishment.
No.
It's about nourishment and celebration.
It is. And who knows, maybe our ripple effects will inspire others to do the same.
I love that.
Creating this wave of positive change
Yes.
that benefits us all.
It all comes back to us.
It does.
It's all connected.
It is so beautifully said.
Thank you.
And with that in mind, we encourage you to continue exploring this topic.
Yeah.
Experiment with different strategies.
Right.
Find what works best for you on your journey towards a healthier, happier, and more fulfilling life.
Love it.
Remember, even small changes can lead to big results over time.
Yeah, don't give up.
Yeah, and most importantly, be kind to yourself along the way.
So important.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
See you next time. So we were talking about how weight loss can actually improve your work performance. And that just blew my mind. I never really thought about those two things as being connected, but it makes total sense.
Yeah, it really does.
If you feel good about yourself, you're more likely to be confident and productive at work.
Right, absolutely. When you're feeling healthy and energized, you're more likely to tackle your work with enthusiasm. You're more creative, more focused, more willing to collaborate.
Right, exactly. And on the flip side, when you're feeling sluggish or self-conscious, it's hard to be your best self at work.
It really is. It's like those self-limiting beliefs start to creep in, and they can hold you back in all areas of your life, including your career.
That reminds me of one of those listener success stories we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Sarah, right? She said after she lost 20 pounds, she felt so much more confident at work, and she actually ended up getting a promotion.
That's awesome. That's a perfect example of how these positive changes can ripple outwards.
Right. It's not just about fitting into a smaller size. It's about feeling good in your own skin and letting that confidence shine through in everything you do.
Exactly. It's about unlocking your full potential, both personally and professionally.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about all these amazing benefits, but how do we actually make these healthy habits stick? I know I struggle with that sometimes. Life gets in the way, and it's easy to fall back into old patterns.
Oh, I hear you. It's a common struggle. Those sources we were looking at had some really good advice on this. They emphasize the importance of starting small.
Okay, yeah, I like that approach. Small changes, big impact, right?
Right. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Focus on 1 or 2 small changes at a time, like swapping out sugary drinks for water or adding an extra serving of vegetables to your meals.
Okay, I can do that. What else?
Another thing they talked about was the importance of finding an activity you genuinely enjoy.
That's huge, yeah. I think so many people force themselves to do workouts they hate, and it's just not sustainable.
Exactly. If you hate running, don't run. Find something that makes you feel good, something you look forward to doing. It could be dancing, swimming, hiking, whatever brings you joy.
Love it. Shouldn't feel like a chore. Okay, so what about when motivation dips? We all have those days where we just don't feel like working out or eating healthy, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's where self-compassion comes in. It's okay to have those days. Don't beat yourself up about it.
Easier said than done sometimes, but yeah, I get it.
It takes practice, for sure. But instead of getting down on yourself, try to reframe those setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow.
Okay, so instead of thinking, ugh, I messed up, think, okay, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time?
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Tapping into your support system can be super helpful.
Yeah, sometimes just talking to a friend or a family member can help shift your perspective and get you back on track.
Absolutely. Having people to cheer you on and hold you accountable can make a world of difference.
Okay, so to recap, we're starting small, finding activities we enjoy, being kind to ourselves, and building a strong support system. I like it. But what about mindfulness? I know we hear that word a lot these days, but I'm still not totally clear on what it means and how it applies to all of this.
Mindfulness is a really powerful tool for healthy living, and it's simpler than you might think. It's basically about paying attention to the present moment without judgment.
Okay, that makes sense, but how does that help with, food and fitness?
Well, when we're mindful, we're more in tune with our bodies and our needs. We notice our hunger cues, we recognize when we're truly tired versus just bored, and we can make choices that are aligned with our overall well-being.
So instead of just mindlessly snacking or pushing through a workout when our body is telling us to rest, we're actually paying attention to what's going on inside.
Precisely. We become more aware of those subtle signals our bodies are sending us.
Okay, so mindfulness helps us make more conscious choices. I like that.
Sure.
But how do we actually become more mindful? Is it all about meditation?
Meditation is definitely a great way to cultivate mindfulness, but it's not the only way. You can practice mindfulness in everyday activities like eating, walking, or even just taking a few deep breaths.
Okay, so it's more about bringing a sense of awareness
Yeah,
to whatever we're doing.
exactly. It's about being present in the moment and noticing our thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations without getting carried away by them.
That's interesting. It sounds like mindfulness could be really helpful in dealing with things like emotional eating or over-exercising, where we're not really in tune with our body's needs.
Absolutely. When we're more mindful, we can start to differentiate between emotional hunger and physical hunger.
Oh, right. Like sometimes we eat because we're stressed or bored, not because we're actually hungry.
Exactly. And mindfulness can help us break those patterns and make choices that truly nourish us.
Wow, this is making me realize that mindfulness is about so much more than I thought. It's not just about relaxation or stress reduction. It's a way of life.
You got it. And it can be a game changer when it comes to healthy living.
This is really making me think. We've talked a lot about self-compassion, but I'm wondering, how does that tie in with mindfulness?
They're actually very closely connected. When we practice mindfulness, we become more aware of our thoughts and feelings, and that includes those negative self-talk patterns that can sabotage our efforts.
Right, like that inner critic that's always telling us we're not good enough, thin enough, strong enough.
Exactly. But when we're more mindful, we can catch those negative thoughts and challenge them. We can choose to respond with kindness and understanding rather than self-criticism.
So self-compassion is basically about treating ourselves with the same kindness we would offer to a good friend.
You've got it. It's about recognizing that we're all human, we all make mistakes, and we all deserve to be treated with respect and compassion, regardless of our perceived successes or failures.
That's a really powerful message. I think so many of us, myself included, could benefit from a little more self-compassion.
Absolutely, and it's something we can cultivate with practice. Just like we train our bodies, we can train our minds to be more kind and understanding.
Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we cultivate more self-compassion?
It starts with awareness. Notice those negative self-talk patterns and challenge them. Instead of berating yourself for a missed workout or an unhealthy meal choice, acknowledge that it happened, remind yourself that you're human, and focus on getting back on track.
Okay, so instead of dwelling on the mistake, we acknowledge it, forgive ourselves, and move forward.
Exactly. And remember, setbacks are a normal part of any journey. They don't define us, and they don't mean we've failed. They're simply opportunities to learn and grow.
I love that perspective. It takes the pressure off and allows us to view challenges as stepping stones rather than roadblocks.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of self-compassion. It creates a more supportive and nurturing inner environment that allows us to thrive.
This whole conversation has been so enlightening. I feel like I'm starting to see food, fitness, and overall well-being in a whole new light. It's not about striving for perfection. It's about progress, self-care, and finding joy in the journey.
It's been a pleasure exploring these concepts with you. It's really inspiring to see how these ideas are resonating.
And speaking of inspiring, we were just talking about how our choices can have a ripple effect on the people around us
Yeah,
and even the world as a whole.
exactly. It's not just about us.
I mean, that is really powerful.
It is.
To think that by taking care of ourselves, we're also contributing to something much bigger.
It's like those concentric circles.
It is.
Yeah.
Starts with us.
But it extends outward
Yes,
to our
absolutely.
families and our communities.
And it can have a huge impact.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
This whole deep dive has been so eye-opening, truly inspiring.
Good. I'm glad.
I feel like I have a fresh perspective on the importance of taking care of myself.
Yeah.
And not just for my own benefit.
But for, the well-being of those around me.
Yes.
And for the greater good.
Exactly. It's been such a pleasure
Yeah, likewise.
exploring these concepts with you.
Yeah, I'm curious. As we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
is there one final thought that you would like to leave our listeners with?
Yeah, I would say, what if, instead of looking at healthy habits as a chore or a sacrifice,
Yeah.
we thought of them as acts of self-love and empowerment?
I love that. It totally changes the whole framework, right?
It does.
It's not something we have to do.
No.
It's something we choose to do.
Exactly.
For ourselves and for the people around us.
Exactly, because when we approach healthy living from that place of love and respect for our bodies, it becomes a joyful and sustainable journey.
Right, and it's not just for us, it's for everyone we touch.
Exactly. It's no longer about deprivation or punishment, you know?
It's about nourishment and celebration.
It is, and who knows, maybe our ripple effects will inspire others to do the same.
Oh, I love that, yeah.
Creating a wave of positive change that benefits us all.
I love that, and it all comes back to us,
It does, yeah.
What goes around comes around.
That's right.
It's all connected.
It is. It's all connected. Beautifully said.
Thank you, and with that in mind,
Yes.
we encourage you to continue exploring this topic, experiment with different strategies.
Absolutely.
Find what works best for you on your own personal journey toward a healthier, happier, and more fulfilling life.
Exactly. Just remember, even those small changes can lead to big results over time.
You can. Don't give up.
Yeah. And most importantly, be kind to yourself along the way.
Yes, so important.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We'll see you next time.
As we're talking about all this, it makes me think we focused a lot on the personal benefits of healthy living.
Yeah.
But what about the bigger picture? Do our choices impact others too? That's a really great question. And the sources we looked at actually talk about that very thing. They use this idea of concentric circles of influence.
Okay, I like that. Concentric circles. What does that mean?
It means that it starts with you, the choices you make for your own well-being. But those choices, they ripple outwards.
They do.
Yeah. They impact your family, your friends, your community, and ultimately the world around you.
So like a chain reaction almost.
Exactly. It's like throwing a pebble into a pond. The ripples spread out further and further.
I like that analogy. Okay, so how does that work in real life? How do my healthy choices actually impact others?
Well, think about it. When you prioritize your health, you have more energy, right?
Right.
More vitality to show up for the people you care about. You're more patient, more present, and just better equipped to handle whatever life throws your way.
That makes sense. I know when I'm feeling run down and stressed, I'm not exactly the most fun person to be around.
Right. But when you're taking care of yourself, you have more to give to others.
I get it. Yeah. So it's not just about me, it's about the people I love too.
Exactly. And it goes beyond even that immediate circle. Your healthy habits can inspire others.
Oh, okay. How so?
Your kids, for example.
Oh, yeah.
They see you choosing fruits and vegetables over chips and cookies.
Right.
Your colleagues at work, maybe they're motivated to join you for a walk during lunch break.
I could see that.
Your friends might be encouraged to try that new yoga class with you.
So it's like leading by example.
Exactly. One healthy choice can spark another, and another creating a ripple effect that spreads outwards.
Oh, that's pretty amazing. One of the sources even suggested that when individuals prioritize their well-being, it can actually contribute to a healthier and more vibrant society as a whole.
I love that idea.
It really is empowering to think about it that way, like my choices matter.
They do. They matter a lot.
This whole deep dive has been so inspiring. I feel like I have a fresh perspective on the importance of taking care of myself, not just for me, but for everyone around me.
It's been great talking about this with you. And as we wrap things up, I'd like to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay.
What if, instead of viewing these healthy habits as a chore or a sacrifice, we embrace them as acts of self-love, acts of empowerment?
That's a beautiful way to put it.
It really changes the whole experience, don't you think?
It does. It's no longer about deprivation or punishment. It's about nourishment and celebration.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, our ripple effects will inspire others to do the same, and we'll all create this wave of positive change.
I love that.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everybody.
And remember, even small changes can make a big difference. Keep up the great work.